Hey, back again. That was kind of strange. I don't know what happened. I apologise in advance if you got my hand all over you. That's what I say every time I go out of my town. I don't know what happened there. It just suddenly froze. And I'm working off a fruit-based device doing this broadcast, so it should be okay. Because I'm normally alright, but for some strange reason it decided to freeze on me. And you probably got a good look at my hand. And so there you go. You can see I wash my hands very frequently and I bite my nails. So I'm a good boy. Yeah, I know I should get manicured, but I don't like other people touching my nails. It's creepy, isn't it? You know, somebody says to you, "Can I do your nails for you?" What's wrong with you? Are you a perv? I just do my own nails. Look, I've got teeth. That's how sophisticated I am. And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the red car in me. So you're going, why would a red car be inside you, David? Are you a transformer? No, not that at all. Well, obviously not that at all, because transformers are made up. I'm from a place called Redcar. I was born in Leeds, and I was very small, so I've been told. There was a birth certificate that says so, but trust me, I didn't know, because I was a little babby at the time, massive afro. Then my family moved to Stockton-on-Tees, which still is in Teesside, sort of Cleveland and North Yorkshire area. And my dad worked for ICI, and then we moved up when I was about 3, 4, something like that. Moved up to Scotland, and we lived in Troon, in Ayrshire, a place called Barassi. That's when I first started singing and being involved in school plays and stuff. And Maya's got her first school play today, which is very exciting. He said, trying to make sure his door's open. Then we moved up to back to the northeast. When I was about 13, I moved to Redcar in Cleveland, and I find it all very exciting because when I was 13, up to the age of about 20, I grew up in Redcar, so my formative years are pretty much there. I've got to admit that's probably where my heart is. Now, Redcar's had a tough old time. I know recently it's had problems with a big factory, steelworks closing down, and it means that there's a tough time had by all because it's an old seaside town. It used to be a lot bigger with a lot more stuff going on. But one of the things is, there's nothing like the people of Redcar. Honestly, in fact, the northeast, I've got to say, is something special. And I've lived in Dubai now for 22 years, and there's something about the way that the northerners are. And I remember watching a program with Eddie Izzard talking about, it's called Mongol Nation, and it's all about the idea that Britain isn't, some white country. It's a mixture, and it always has been a mixture of different nationalities coming to live in England and integrating themselves with the community and becoming part of the system that sets up the culture and the tastes and the food and so on. I mean, before the Romans came over and introduced straight roads and ovens and kitchens and stuff, people used to eat this kind of soup-type porridge every day. So at every stage there's been invasions and or integrations or emigrations of people that come into the country and change it. None of the things about the northeast versus... Oh, we're back again. And the way that it looks is like, if you're from the north, you're really friendly. If you're from the south, you're a bit more reserved and a bit more to yourself. And apparently that's because the north was invaded by Vikings, and our heritage and culture is from a Viking point of view. And the south was more Anglo-Saxon, so that would be from France and Germany and so on. And if you think about the way those different cultures would be, you'd expect the northerners to be a bit more brazen, like your Vikings, effectively. And that's why on a Saturday night, when you go out back in the northeast, you'd go out in only a t-shirt. And if that's what everybody did, you wouldn't wear a coat. Why would you? Even if it is cold, you're fine. And it's just a different mindset. So that's the culture that I come from. Incredibly friendly people who want to get to know you. If you're in a bus stop with somebody, you'll say hi, and you'll probably start a conversation, because it's all about making friends and being personable, and just not wanting anyone to feel that they're left out. And when I moved from Scotland, where I got to admit I had a really tough time growing up, being the only black kid in school was tough. The only black kid in town was difficult, but black and English at the time was very, very difficult. Now, Scotland's different. I'm not picking on any nationality, because it was like the 70s and 80s, and the world was a different place then. And so, when I came to England, I just found myself in a completely different world. And in the northeast, nobody was bothered. There were a few scuffles and things, but apart from that, it was pretty straightforward. One thing that was beautiful is there was a friend of mine called Karen Middlecote, who now lives in Oman. And I remember before I left the UK, I was probably in my early 20s, mid-20s. I was working for the BBC on the radio at the time. And Roger Middlecote, a brother, came over to me. He was an older brother, so he was a couple of years above us when I went to join Ryhill's school, which I think has now since been knocked down. Not because of me, just because they changed its location. And Roger said to me, you know, when you arrived in school, the rugby team, I think he was captain of the rugby team at the time, decided that we would protect you and make sure that nobody had these rugby playing ninjas looking out for me in the playground and around the classes to make sure that at no point anybody had the right to turn around and pick on the only black kid in town. And I can't say enough about that. That's Redcar. Love you guys. Bye.